Hello everyone, welcome to our 5th yoga practice. So excited to have you here. Today we're going to be doing a lot of stuff seated. So I hope you're ready for a mentally challenging practice because it's going to seem easy, but if you really apply yourself, it'll be really rewarding at the end and, like I said, a little bit challenging. So let's go ahead and get started and just warm up our bodies. So let's come to the top of our mats. Let's get into our mountain pose, planting those feet, grounding downwards, maybe rolling the shoulders up and back a few times, just so we get that feeling of adding length through the back of our spine here. Let's stand nice and strong. Let's take one breath. Breathe in. And exhale, breathe out. From here, let's inhale, reach our arms upwards, nice and high. And as we exhale, let's hinge at the hips, reaching down towards our toes. Inhale, straightening the spine, gazing straight ahead. Let's exhale, plant our hands, step our feet back, and lower down with control through our chaturanga. Hovering here for just a moment before inhaling, lifting up into our up dog. And let's exhale, tuck our toes, lift our hips up and back, flowing into our down dog. Remember here, if there's tightness in the back of your legs, you can pedal out the feet, 1 foot at a time. You can also take a wider stance on your mat, and that can help you get a better posture here in our down dog. And feel free to bend your knees if you need to as well. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Gazing ahead, let's jump our feet forward. So we inhale, coming up into our half forward fold. And let's exhale, move into our full forward fold. As we inhale, straighten the spine, lifting the arms upwards, nice and tall. And exhale, return back to our mountain pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hinge and fold forward. Inhale, coming up halfway, nice straight spine here. Exhale, plant the hands, walk or jump the feet back, lower down through our chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up into that up dog. And let's exhale, lift the hips up and back, pressing down into that down dog. We're grounding the hands, grounding the feet and legs, and lifting the hips and belly upwards. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Gazing ahead, let's inhale, bring our feet forward, coming up into that half forward fold. And exhale, move down into a full forward fold. As we inhale, straightening the spine, reaching up overhead. And exhale, coming back to our Samasthati. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hinge and fold forward. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, planting the hands, walking or jumping the feet back. Let's lower down to the chaturanga. Inhale, lift up into our up dog. And let's exhale, tuck the toes, lift those hips up and back. Moving into our down dog. Taking a few breaths here, breathing in. And breathing out. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Gazing ahead, let's walk or jump our feet forward. Coming up into that half forward fold. Before exhaling, flowing down into our full forward fold. As we inhale, straightening up, reaching tall to the sky. And exhale, coming back to our Samasthati. Let's take one reset breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Moving on to our sun salutation B. Let's inhale, bend the knees, sweeping the arms down and up. Moving into our chair pose here. As we exhale, straighten the legs, hinge and fold forward. Inhale, coming up halfway with that nice straight spine, gazing straight ahead. And as we exhale, let's plant the hands, walk or jump the feet back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, press up into our up dog. And let's exhale, press back into our down dog. Taking a moment here just to focus in on the body. Let's go ahead and move on to our warrior one, stepping that right foot forward, left foot spins out to the side, rounding the legs with strength as we inhale, reach up and lengthen. And let's exhale, plant the hands back on the mat and lower down through our chaturanga. Inhale, press up into up dog. And let's exhale, tuck those toes and move back into our down dog. Preparing for warrior one here on the left side. Left foot comes forward, right foot spins out to the side, rounding the legs here with control. We're going to inhale, reach up and lengthen. And exhale, return back down towards the mat. Inhale into up dog. And let's exhale, press back into our down dog. Taking a few moments to rest in this posture. Focusing in on the breath here, breathing in. And breathing out. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Gazing ahead. Let's inhale as we bring our feet forward, coming up into that half forward fold. And then let's exhale, move down into our full forward fold. Bending the knees as we inhale, bringing the arms up, sitting back into our chair here. And let's exhale, lengthen up, back into our Samasthiti. Perfect. Let's do one forward fold before we move on to our seated posture. So standing here nice and strong, we're going to inhale. Jump the feet out about hip width apart. And as we exhale, we're hinging at the hips, taking our 2 fingers and thumb, interlacing around the big toe. We're going to inhale, straighten the spine, gaze straight ahead. And as we exhale, tucking the chin, letting the head, neck, and shoulders hang heavy here. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take one more inhale, breathe in. Exhale, release the toes, planting the back of the hands on the mat, sliding those palms under the front of the feet. We're going to inhale, straighten our spine, gaze straight ahead. And as we exhale, we're tucking the head, shoulder, and neck, and allowing the upper body to hang heavy as we forward fold. Breathing in. And breathing out. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release the palms from the feet, bringing the hands up to the hips. And as we inhale, we're going to very slowly roll the spine back up to center, keeping control of our balance. And exhale, jump back into our Samasthiti. From here, we're going to go ahead and flow straight into a vinyasa. So inhale, reach the arms up, nice and high. As we exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips, reaching down towards our toes. We're going to inhale, come up halfway into our half forward fold. And as we exhale, let's plant our hands, step our feet back, lower down through a chaturanga. Inhale, press up into our up dog. And let's exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips back into our down dog. From here, let's go ahead, come down to our knees, cross our ankles, sitting back, extending our legs forward, moving into our first version of our forward seated folds today. So we're keeping those feet flexed, active, engaged. We're pulling in the belly, lifting up and lengthening through the spine. Our hands coming out to the side. The point here is just to build the length and strengthen the body, as well as be able to be still. So let's inhale and exhale, holding here, focusing on that strength and straightness in the spine and in the legs. Let's take one more inhale. And as we exhale, let's cross our ankles, plant our hands forward, jump back into our high plank, and let's flow through a vinyasa. So as we exhale, we lower down. Inhale, press up into our up dog. And as we exhale, press back into our down dog. Coming back to our knees, crossing our ankles, swinging our feet forward. Moving on to go a little bit deeper into our forward fold. We're going to keep those feet flexed, active, engaged. Pulling in, up through the belly, arms coming up above the body. We're just going to hold here, keeping the straight lines. Inhaling and exhaling. Remember, we're holding here with strength and focusing on being very strong and firm in our posture. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, release. Cross the ankles, plant the hands, jump the feet back. Let's lower down through our chaturanga as we exhale. Inhale, lift up into our up dog. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back into our down dog. Coming back onto our knees, crossing ankles, swinging the legs forward. We're going to go a little bit further this time into our forward fold. There's a couple options. If you can reach down towards the toes while keeping that spine nice and straight, I want you to go ahead and grab onto the outside of the feet. If you cannot, you're going to follow me from the beginning, and you're going to go just as far as your body goes for this moment. So everybody, inhale, reach your arms upwards to the sky, keeping your spine nice and long here, keeping those feet flexed, active, engaged. Let's inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, we're hinging at the hips and just going as far as we can go. If all we do is a little quarter inch forward, that's perfect. Like I said, if you can hinge all the way forward without sacrificing your spine, go ahead, reach for those feet. Otherwise, just hold here where you're at, breathing through with strength. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, release the arms, crossing the ankles, planting the hands, stepping back into our high plank. Let's exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up into our up dog. And exhale, tuck our toes, pressing back into our down dog. Coming down to our knees, crossing your ankles, swinging the feet forward. We're going to do one more forward fold. This time we're going a little bit further. So if you can grab onto your feet, this time you're going to try and go further and grab onto your opposite wrist. But once again, we're keeping our spine straight and not rounding it as we go into that forward fold. If you're not there yet, you're going to move forward just a little bit further than before. Even if it's only a fraction of a centimeter, that's all we're going for. So let's go ahead, inhale, reach the arms up, straighten the spine nice and strong here. As we exhale, we're hinging forward and just pushing ourselves a little bit more than we did before. Keeping the spine long, feet flexed and engaged. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, release the arms, cross the legs, plant the hands, jump back into our high push-up. We're going to exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up into our up dog. And exhale, press back into our down dog. And just as a reminder, as we're going through this practice today and just this month, if you ever need to take a break, you're more than welcome to come down onto your knees, rest the forehead on the mat, and just take a moment here in child's pose to get caught up. So from our down dog, let's go ahead, come to our knees, cross those ankles, swing the feet forward, and we're going to go ahead and move into a different pose here than we've done before. So a couple options. You can come into tabletop, so plant the feet, plant the hands forward. You're going to inhale, lift up the hips, and hold here. If you want to go a little bit further, you're going to extend the feet out, planting those feet straight along the body, and lift up the head and let it hang back heavy. So go ahead, prepare yourself for whichever posture you want to go be in, and let's inhale, lift up those hips, keeping them nice and high here, allowing the head and neck to hang heavy back behind the body. Inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, lift up the hips even higher, and let's exhale, come back down to the mat. We're going to do a modified vinyasa, and this is another option here for you if you don't feel like going through the full vinyasa that we've been doing here. So grabbing onto the outside of the knees, we're going to inhale, lift the chin, gazing upwards, and as we exhale, we're tucking the head and neck, rounding the spine back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, and exhale. Last time, inhale, breathe in, and exhale, breathe out, rounding that spine nice and back. Go ahead, extend the legs, and we're going to move on to our next posture here. And the reason why we keep doing these vinyasas, or these modified vinyasas between the poses, is it gives us some time to reset our spine and reset the back of our legs, because it's pretty strenuous holding in these different postures. So we're going to move into our seated Ardha. So extending the legs straight out. Once again, we're pulling up from the belly, keeping a nice straight spine. We're going to take our right foot, bring it on top of the crease of our left foot, and just allow our knee to hang onto our mat. If it's popping up really high, grab a block or a book, something there to hold it there, so it doesn't put a lot of stress and strain on your leg. We're going to inhale, reach up, lengthening through the spine, And as we've been doing before, as we exhale, we're hinging forward and working on reaching towards that front leg. If you can grab onto it without running spine, go ahead and move to that position. Otherwise, just hold here wherever you're at with strength. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's take one more breath. Inhale, breathe in. And exhale, breathe out. Go ahead, release the right foot forward, taking the left foot, bringing it up on top of the crease of that right leg, allowing the knee to hang here just to the side of the body. We're straightening that right leg, inhaling, lifting up with strength. And as we exhale, we're hinging and folding forward here, just going a little bit deeper into the pose. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, release. Option here to do the modified version of the vinyasa. Otherwise, cross your ankles, plant the hands, step the feet back. Let's lower down through our chaturanga. Inhale, lift up into our up dog. And exhale, lift those hips up and back, moving into our down dog. Coming back down to our knees, crossing those ankles, swinging the feet forward. We're going into another forward fold here. We're taking our right foot, bringing it to the inside of the left leg, allowing our knee to just sit here on the mat. I'll turn this way so you can see what it looks like. Just letting it hang out next to the side of the body. Left foot flexed, active, engaged. We're going to inhale, reach up, lengthen with strength. And as we exhale, we're hinging and folding forward, reaching towards that extended foot. If you can grab onto it, go ahead and move there now. Otherwise, just hinge at the hips, keeping the spine long, keeping the leg long, and holding where you're at today. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's take one more inhale, breathe in, and exhale, release. Rotating sides here, extending that left leg out straight in front of the body, or sorry, right leg. Left leg comes into the inside of the right leg, knee extended out to the side. Once again, if it's popping up off the mat and you need some support, get a book or a block, something there to hold it up to protect that knee. We're going to inhale, reach up and lengthen from the base of the spine. And as we exhale, we're hinging and folding forward there, breathing in and exhaling out. If you can reach that forward foot, go ahead and move there now. But once again, we want to reach the foot only when we can do it without tongue-tied here, without sacrificing the length in our spines. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's take one more breath. Inhale and exhale, release. Go ahead, cross the ankles, step back into our high plank. We're going to exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up into our up dog. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift back into our down dog. Coming back onto our knees, crossing your ankles. We're going to go ahead and start closing out some of these postures. So let's come back onto our backs here, keeping the feet up close to the sits bones. We're going to move into the bridge pose, half wheel and then full wheel. So option here is if you're not ready to go onto half wheel or full wheel, stay here and bridge. If you're ready to go on to one but not the other, go ahead and move to that level. But for now, we're all going to start here at our bridge pose. So feet up close to the sits bones, arms extended out across the body. We're going to inhale, lift those hips up nice and high off our mat, holding here. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to take one more inhale, lifting the hip up a little bit higher than before. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly round the spine back to our mats. Once again, if you're comfortable here in bridge, stay in bridge. If you want to go a little bit further, you're going to keep those feet up close to the sits bones. Hands are going to come back behind the head, fingers facing forward. And as we inhale, everyone's going to lift their hips up off the mat. If you're coming into half wheel, you're going to allow your head to rest on your mat here. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, lift the hips up a little higher than before. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly round the spine, careful of the neck, back onto the mat. Once again, stay here in bridge if that's where you're at. Stay in half wheel if that's where you're at as well. If you want to go a little bit further forward, we're going to go ahead and extend in full wheel and lift the head off of the mat this time. So planting the feet into the mat, planting the hands, we're going to inhale, lift the hip up off the body, and extending the arms up and moving here into our wheel pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take one more inhale and exhale very slowly. Lower back down onto our mat. Let's go ahead, inhale. Bring the knees into the center of the body, rocking back and forth, giving a nice little massage here for our spine. Now let's go ahead, extend those legs back out onto our mats. We're going to go ahead and move into our shoulder stand here. If you can go into it without any problems, then that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to try and go into the full one. If you need some help, you can lift up your legs and rest them up against the wall here as well. So prepare for whichever level you're at. We're going to inhale, lift the hips up off the mat, extending the body upwards, working on keeping a nice straight line in the body. Hands gently pressed against the back. We're not resting the back in the hands, but just supporting it. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to take one more inhale, lifting the spine up nice and tall, nice and straight here. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips and allowing those toes to drop back behind the body, moving here into our plow pose. Let's go ahead, drop the knees. So our knees are now hugging our ears, feet extended back behind the body. And let's inhale, lift the legs back up into our shoulder stand. If you want to go a little bit, so a couple options here for our next posture. You can come into frog, so feet coming together, or knees extended out to the side. Or if you'd like to try coming into lotus, you can take your right leg, bring it out to the side, and flip it up on top of the left leg. Left leg then comes out to the side and flips up on top of the right leg. Just holding here in an upside down lotus. If you want to go a little bit further, you can extend your arms out from the back of the spine and just work on holding the knees here. And this is just our challenge pose today. So go to whatever level you're at and whatever you feel comfortable in. If your legs are bound, we're going to slowly roll the spine back onto the mat, keeping them there, and allow them to press forward onto the mat. Whether you're in frog or lotus, we're going to inhale, bring the top of the head onto the mat, gazing backwards, moving into our fish pose. Let's take one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead, release the legs, release the neck, hugging those knees back into the body and rocking back and forth side to side. Moving into happy baby, let's inhale, lift our feet up towards the ceiling, grabbing onto the outside of the feet, pulling the legs down. Once again, just rocking ever so gently. Hugging the knees back in the chest, let's inhale, rock up, and go ahead and do our last closing postures for the day. So once again, for this, you can sit in crisscross. You can bring your right leg on top of the left, moving into half lotus. Or if you want to move into full lotus, go ahead and bring the left leg up on top of that. Sitting up nice and tall here, knitting in those ribs and belly. We're going to take our left arm, reach it back behind the body. Right arm follows, grabbing onto opposite elbows. Let's inhale, lift up and lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, we're hinging forward and allowing our forehead to rest on the mat. Just taking a moment to enjoy the breath in this bound position. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's take one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead, release the arms, roll the spine back up to neutral. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands out in front of the knees. First finger and thumb interlocking, tucking the chin, lengthening the spine. Maybe closing the eyes here as we focus in on the stillness of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead, open the eyes, release the hands, moving into our strength pose here. Once again, we're just pressing down on our mat. If we can't lift up all the way, we're just pressing down, building that upper body strength, coming up halfway or all the way here. We're going to do this for a count of 10. So inhale, lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Great work, friends. Let's go ahead, uncross our legs, extend them out across our mat, and allow ourselves to roll back and just sink heavily into the earth as we move into our corpse pose. Just allowing our practice to come to an end and just taking a moment to let everything go. begin to feel the mind and body reawaken, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes as you bring focus and connection back. And when you're ready, go ahead and join me in a seated position in front of your mat. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. It's been a pleasure, and I hope that you had a good practice and that you can find something beneficial out of every single time that you join in for yoga. Thank you so much. Namaste.